wages, that is wages accounting for inflation, rose 1.25% from January 2025 to January 2026. So people over the first year of the Trump administration made $1.25, 1.25% above inflation. So in the 4 years under President Biden, real wages fell 1.4%. So Americans turning the corner on making more to afford their lifestyle. Experts think this adds to the argument for another rate cut,
especially with the jobs numbers that we saw on Wednesday. And I think all of these help the Fed have reasons to wind up cutting maybe prior to what they normally would have done.
And we get the next CPI inflation report a week before the March meeting.
And this goes right back to President Trump's policies and how he has aggressively tried to rein in the price of oil and gasoline. You look at this number, better than expected. You attribute it to the price of gas and oil here. And that is why you're looking at the inflation story not hitting the consumer. Even though the underlying price is on the producer level, whether it be copper, silver, gold, etc., have had a good 2025, and those underlying metals that have risen, you're not seeing it passed on to the consumer. The CPI better than expected. That's why you're seeing the market turn around, and that's why you're seeing this CPI at a very tame level. Attribute it to the president's policies. That was his number one priority when he first came in office for the second time. Cheryl.
Yep, absolutely, 1,000%. And this is where you keep hearing all this rhetoric about the midterms and how the Democrats are going to seize on these opportunities. No. When you, as you've mentioned too, Maria, when you see that pass through in the tax returns that Americans are going to see, when you see gas station oil lower, you see gas station prices continue to stay at these low levels. That's, it's all the boats rising here, Maria. All the boats. And I think absolutely this is really good news for the market and also for the economy overall.
I want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Well, I'll be jolly. Somebody come in here and slap me. Am I seeing this correctly? All over the internet, breaking news, all over the media. Oh, man, Donnie, the golden age. We actually have a real president. They unplugged that machine, that auto pen. We actually have a real president. What a beautiful thing. Oh, boy, if you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, good luck. Get your diaper, keep doodling on yourself. We actually have a real president. They're still going to come out and say, on day one, Trump said, on day one, everything will come down on the affordability. He will bring everything down to zero on day one. I tell you, do you know how it works? Did you take Economics 101? What do they call that class? Did you take it? Do you think Trump can just pull a magic stick out of his butt and roll it around, twirl it around, and go woof, and everything just change overnight? Do you think that's how it works? Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. But we couldn't wait to get into all this just in breaking news. Bombshells flying everywhere. President Trump making big announcements. We actually have a president. God bless President Trump and this administration. And again, God bless you all that are tuned in, your family. I'm wishing the best in all of our life, man. And it's fast time travel. We live in this corrupt scam matrix, and we've seen the ups and downs. We've seen the corruption in real time. We've seen a lot of disgraceful things. We've seen the biggest scandals, and we've uncovered a lot of things because of this man right here that he got back in the White House. Love or hate the man, agree or disagree. We don't agree with Trump on everything. We are human beings. We're all not perfect. The president is not perfect, but God bless this man here. And we are grateful that he got back in. And there are some things that you just can't deny. Big wins in a night and day difference than the previous administration. All we needed was a new president. And we are rooting for Trump. We are rooting for America. And I think all Americans should be rooting for America. I think everybody should be rooting for America, you know. But again, just in, U.S. inflation drops to the lowest nearly in 5 years as gas and housing prices fall. They don't want to talk about this, like I've been telling you guys. A lot of things that's happening, even in the stock market, everything that's happening under with President Trump and the economy, they don't want to talk about. They want to talk about Epstein. You know, and they want Trump to be on the island so bad. They want Trump to have any kind of wrongdoing, and it has massively backfired. Massively, you know, but all we needed was a new president, says the White House in this post here, as you can see. That says for God and country. Amen. But inflation is coming down. Wages are going up. Jobs are booming. This is how you achieve affordability. The U.S. economy is roaring back to life thanks to President Trump. Boy, and then look at the New York Times. Look at these headlines. The CNBC, the fake news media. Yeah, they all have to report on this. They have to report on this because it's happening in real time. You know, when they said it wasn't happening, when they gaslight, fearmonger, and tell you the man is destroying the country, the man is the big bad orange man, threat to democracy. You know, this is why they've been so focused on other things and also Epstein, because this is what's actually taking place. You know. Now, again, it's not going to be like Trump pulls out his magic stick out of his butt and bing, and then, you know, everything has dropped, you know, interest rates and 1% interest rates and that. No, it doesn't work that way. We wish it did. Just like the socialist communists wish everything was free. But then in reality, you realize nothing is free. We wish it was. I wish somebody come in here and say, hey, Rick, sir, here's this card. Swipe away. Get you some gas, go buy you some groceries, and even pay your mortgage on it, Mr. Rick. Everything's free, sir. We wish it worked that way. I wish it did. But these us patriots, blood, sweat, and tears every single day, and we out here surviving. Amen. And I'm wishing the best in everybody's life. I don't care if you're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, independent. And if you even say the hell with politics, I don't care if you believe in the boogeyman, I am wishing the best in all you guys' life, man, that we all win, man. And again, law and order, common sense, we have to do things the right way. You know, simple, no other way around it. But boy, they have to admit it, huh?
This is some encouraging news on the cost of living, right? Inflation took a big step in the right direction to start the year off. So consumer prices up by 2.4% year over year. That is an improvement from 2.7% in December that beat expectations, which were for 2.5%. In fact, this is a new 8-month low for annual inflation, month over month. Prices up by 0.2%. Also a step in the right direction, also beating expectation. Now, economists look really closely at core inflation, which excludes food and energy. Core inflation came in at 2.5%. That's notable because that's the lowest annual inflation rate for core since March of 2021, before the inflation crisis. This is
we just want to stay on this path these next few months. It's going to be something to see, man. And that's what we are rooting for, to stay on this path these next couple of months, man. You know,
wages, that is wages accounting for inflation, rose 1.25% from January 2025 to January 2026. So people of the first year of the Trump administration made $1.25, 1.25% above inflation. So in the 4 years under President Biden, real wages fell 1.4%. So Americans turning the corner on making more to afford their lifestyle. Experts think this adds to the argument for another rate cut,
especially with the jobs numbers that we saw on Wednesday. And I think all of these help the Fed have reasons to wind up cutting maybe prior to what they normally would have done.
And we get the next CPI inflation report a week before the March meeting. Wages, that is wages account.
Oh boy, look at all this breaking news. Oh, they need to walk this bum out. Mr. Jerome Powell, I need to walk him out. Says he's in big trouble now. as the CPI and core CPI data got released, CPI came in at a 2.4% versus 2.5% expected, while core CPI came in at a 2.5% versus 2.5% expected. The U.S. CPI is now at its lowest level since April 2025, right before tariffs were imposed. Oh boy. The U.S. CPI is now at its lowest level since April 2025. So this means despite the Fed's claims of inflation heating up, it's trending lower. Meanwhile, the other aspect of the U.S. economy is breaking. The labor market is getting worse. Credit card delinquencies are rising. Corporate bankruptcies are hitting 2008 crisis levels. This is a clear sign that the Fed has committed a huge policy mistake. The Fed has been hawkish for long than expected, which is harming the U.S. economy. Boy, in 2020 to 2021, they remained over longer than expected, which caused inflation to spike. This time, the real risk is deflation, which is far worse than inflation, which is with each passing day, it feels like Trump comments around too late power are true. Boy. New Fed chair soon. Just push him out the way. He should have cut rates long time ago. Oh boy. You just can't make this up, man. You just
0.4 had been expected at 2.5%. And I think one of the reasons is this rent of owner's equivalent rent coming in at a relatively low 0.2%. Energy down 1.5%, gasoline down 3.2%, new vehicle sales up 0.2%. I am looking for the core number, CPI year over year 2.4%, ex-food energy. That came in at consensus plus 2.5%. And real earnings were pretty good, up 0.5% after declining in the prior month. So this looks like a good CPI number and an up.
Man, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Says January's inflation comes in lower than expected. Trump has erased Biden's inflation disaster, and the economy has economy growing. It's well past to lower rates further. Just can't make this up, man.
Following the leadership of President Joe Biden, whose record,
look at this clown,
continues to move things in an incredibly positive direction for the American people. Wages are up. Inflation is down.
The high cost of living in the United States of America. It's a challenge that we need to tackle. They promised that costs would go down on day one, that they would address inflation. Costs have.
You repeat the same script every single day. I wonder what he's thinking now. He repeats the same script on the fake news media every single day. This bastard, I'd be walked out in handcuffs with his hands behind his back. All that Diddy oil on his forehead.
Haven't gone down, they're going up. Inflation is going up, and a lot of it has to do with Trump's reckless mismanagement of the economy.
Trump's reckless mismanagement. Trump's reckless mismanagement. Boy.
And this goes right back to President Trump's policies and how he has aggressively tried to rein in the price of oil and gasoline. You look at this number, better than expected. You attribute it to the price of gas and oil here, and that is why you're looking at the inflation story not hitting the consumer. Even though the underlying price is on the producer level, whether it be copper, silver, gold, etc., have had a good 2025, and those underlying metals that have risen, you're not seeing it passed on to the consumer. The CPI better than expected. That's why you're seeing the market turn around, and that's why you're seeing this CPI at a very tame level. Attribute it to the president's policies. That was his number one priority when he first came in office for the second time. Cheryl.
Yep, absolutely, 1,000%. And this is where you keep hearing all this rhetoric about the midterms and how the Democrats are going to seize on these opportunities. No. When you, as you've mentioned too, Maria, when you see that pass through in the tax returns that Americans are going to see, when you see gas station oil lower, you see gas station prices continue to stay at these low levels. That's, it's all the boats rising here, Maria. All the boats. And I think absolutely this is really good news for the market and also for the economy overall.
Boy, just can't make this up, man. Oh boy, oh boy. All we needed was a new president. Woo!
2.0 here, big Trump supporter. Spoke to the president this week in the Oval Office. He gave me this beautiful hat. He signed it.
America's back.
The reason why I'm making this video is the CPI was announced about 10 minutes ago. You know, inflation going down 2.4%. 2.4%. You won't hear these numbers. You won't hear any congratulations to the White House and the big beautiful bill from NBC, CNN, or MSNBC. You see, the Democrats don't want to tell you good news. The good news is inflation is going down. That's because of President Trump, the big beautiful bill. You will not hear this today on CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post, ABC, CBS. Why? They don't want you to hear the good news. They don't want you to hear the truth. President Trump is the greatest president in my lifetime. Promises made, promises kept. And you haven't seen anything yet. That big, beautiful bill, the full impact will kick in this year. Look at your tax returns. But the big story today is the CPI. And text me if you hear any of that news on MSNBC, CNN, New York Times. You won't hear it because they want to keep good news away from you. God bless America. God bless President Trump. God bless you. We live in the greatest country on the planet.
Now, I think this is like news where they have to report on it. They can't reflect from this one. So we have seen the New York Times come out. I don't think we've seen it when we've seen CNN, come up and put the numbers up, But again, we know the fake news media. They really, in reality, they don't want to mention this, man. They don't want to talk about it. They hate to see this administration winning and turning things around and doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Promises made, promises kept, and they're just going to invite Democrats on, the left on, to repeat the same script and still say on day one, Trump said that things will come down to 0%, that it'll all come down, that it would be a overnight change. They're going to invite Democrats on to repeat that same talking point, and still discredit the man. Even if we see all this good happening, they're still going to discredit the man. They're still going to, come on and bash him and throw rocks at him. Nothing's good enough. So just expect that to take place, on the Meet the Press, Face the Nation, on, the CNN, upcoming CNN interviews. And watch how these politicians and these Democrats get up and downplay this good news. Just watch, y'all. But look at this: inflation measures fall to nearly 5-year low as gas prices fall and housing costs cool. You just can't make this up, man. But we are definitely going to be reposting this on our page on X. Y'all can follow me on X. I will definitely follow you guys back. But U.S. inflation has fallen, and all we needed was a new president. All we needed was a new president. Trust in Trump. Man, God bless our president. God bless you guys that are tuned in today's show. Again, sorry if things sound a little weird on my travel setup. We are getting the dog's haircut. And I'm at my mom's house. So I just like to bring my little travel setup with me to see what's going on in the breaking news and, keep you guys informed and also have a great show on the road, But love that big things are happening. Again, I want this country to win. I want you to win, us to win. Simple, no other way around it, man. The America First agenda, we the people, but we have been hit upside the head, lied to, robbed in broad daylight. It's a disgrace, but Love reporting on good news like this. And we got more big things to get into on today's show. Y'all weigh in with your thoughts. I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.